Welcome
to another episode.
I'm the Nerd.
And I'm the Geek.
This is the Nerd and the Geek.
It's our thing.
I think we're up to episode about 20.
20.
This one's going to be called Superman 64. We're talking about the very enjoyable game.
Memorable.
Superman 64 for the Nintendo 64 system.
Mm-hmm.
In this game, he plays Clark Kent in his Superman form, flying around,
Metropolis.
picking up cars, and flying through rings. It's very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
There's short time constraints, and then there's very little instruction throughout this game. In some scenes, a pedestrian's about to get hit by a car, and you have to pick up the car before it hits a pedestrian. And then mostly other missions are flying through rings.
I'm not sure if this is what we're supposed to be talking
How
about.
did you feel about this game?
Not sure if this is what we're supposed to be talking about.
Okay.
Wasn't there something else that came out like 2 weeks ago? DC oriented.
Nothing.
Really?
Huh? Superman.
No.
Soups! Batman Arkham City is what we're actually talking about. But first, we need a disclaimer. We know in our new studio,
The lighting sucks.
it's horrible. It's dark. But we're trying to get more professional. We're going to have better lights. We just don't quite have it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any tips how to set it up, we kind of got a 3-point lighting system right now with crappy lamps with the tops taken off. We're looking to get more lights. Seth has some lighting. We're going to be working it out. So if you know what to do with lights, let us know. It will help us out a lot. If we need them up high, if we need them below. Right now we're using kind of like a triangle, like I said, 3-point lighting system. Let us know. Other than that, we're talking about Batman Arkham City.
Sequel to 2009's Arkham Asylum.
Probably, debatable, best superhero game of all time. For sure, best Batman game ever. This is nothing new. Everyone's already said this a million times. It was a great game. It was a Batman emulator. You don't play just superhero going through the city. You feel like Batman when you're punching people. When you're hiding in the gargoyles, grabbing people, you feel awesome. Basically, there's gadget play throughout here. You have explosive gel, you have your bat claw, you have your batarangs, you have a bunch of different types of batarangs. You get some Mr. Freeze technology throughout this game. You've got a lot of different gameplay throughout here. Basically, the gameplay is a open world over map, which is Arkham City. It's a full city, it's huge. And then most of your missions are actual dungeon crawls where you go into a building and it's basically Arkham Asylum.
Being Batman.
Yeah. Other than that, you've got 2 types of combat. You've got beat 'em up brawler combat. When you run into 20 goons with bats and their fists, you're Batman. You're going to punch them all in their face. Then you run into a room with 6 guys with guns, and it is scary because you're just a guy in a suit. So you're jumping from gargoyles, taking them out one by one with stealth type mechanics. So you've got a good vary of gameplay. You've got open world sandbox, you've got brawler, you've got detective mode, you've got stealth mode. It's a diverse game for sure. How did you feel about this installment?
Okay, so what needs to be said is that I don't buy a whole lot of video games. I'm just a very casual gamer. Bought Arkham Asylum in 2009 and just got addicted. Like right off the bat, I was just kind of like, I gotta save Arkham. I gotta be Batman. So
try and take it out of here.
Exactly, and so loved the first game. Bought the comic book. Bridge between this and Arkham Asylum and Arkham City.
What's it called?
I think it's just called Arkham City, or I think it's just called Arkham City. It's just a 5-issue bridge between the 2 stories. So I'll be honest, I'm a comic book guy at heart. I buy these for the story. Stories written by Paul Dini, one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best like big comic book writers of our time. He did a lot of the Batman animated series. So
beloved Batman animated series.
Just good stuff. Good stuff right
it's
here.
Good for you.
Yeah, just good. And I really Yeah, I just love how all the characters integrate together really nice and create this nice story. It's not like, some people will get this, it's not like the Hush book, where it's just a hodgepodge of Batman villains.
Awesome art.
Yeah, awesome art and all these Batman villains together. No, this makes sense. Like, they're all there in Arkham City for a reason. Yeah, they all got shoveled in there, but it's neat. There's this turf war that's happening that's kind of like the Batman No Man's Land story arc, where everyone's just fighting for territory, and there's this bigger hierarchy with Hugo Strange, but I'm not far enough in the game. I don't know the whole story, so yeah. Anyway, I love the game. The only thing I don't really like is I don't like the vastness of it. I liked Arkham Asylum, where I was just like, oh, this is believable.
Yeah, it's all
this is believable.
contained.
Yeah, I'm contained. I'm on the island. This is kind of like, I don't know, I guess, yeah, it's a comic book.
You have a whole city.
I have a whole city. I'm like, why would they build an entire city and shove all these villains in here anyway? It's just really vast.
You'll find out.
Yeah, just so vast. And one of my big problems is, so there's this part where you can save like political inmates.
Yeah.
And if I'm doing my thing, like gliding through the city, and I hear someone scream for help, I have to stop and help them. And it's like, I don't know. I just like that slows me down a lot because there's several throughout the city and everything. And fighting them is a little hard too.
You have to save, I think, like 75 of them. Or
yeah,
something
they're
like
all over. Also, this game is considerably tougher than Arkham Asylum. I think they get guns a lot faster, and it's I'm better at the whole like I'm good at the stealth thing, but yeah, it gets harder. Like when they all have guns, like and then some of them have the motion detector. And
a lot
stuff
of them
like that.
like to group up more often.
Exactly,
they're
like it's not
and
like
you don't have double batarangs, so you can't knock two of them out and jump a third one.
Yeah, it sucks.
Got to be a lot smarter with how you pick.
Exactly, but that's good. That's good. I love the voice work. I mentioned the animated series earlier. This is Mark Hamill, Kevin Conroy from the animated series, Batman, Joker, doing what they do best, and I love it. Because when I think of Batman, I think of the animated series, and that just warms my heart. And I love that. And I love the whole Arkham City world, where it's like the animated series, just a little darker.
Yeah,
it's good
stuff. This one's a lot darker.
Oh yeah, and the music's amazing. It's like you took all the Batman themes, Danny Elfman, you got Hans Zimmer, just take all that and just beautiful. It's awesome.
Put it in a crock pot and let it stew.
Exactly. Anyway, I give this game 10 out of 10. It's sweet. It's just the exact same thing as Arkham Asylum, just vaster. And I like that as a casual gamer. I don't need to relearn a whole new game mechanic. Good stuff.